Hey, Greg Surratt here with a little pre-Thanksgiving Worry-Free Wednesday encouragement. Today what I want to do is wrap up a series that we've begun on 3 habits that will change your life. They're taken from Paul's instructions in 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 16, where it says this: "Rejoice always, pray continually, and give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." So today what I want to do is focus on the habit of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful mindset. There's been a lot of study recently in the last several years on the power of gratitude and how it does great things for your mental health and your physical health and all of that. But long before we had any of those studies, God said, hey, this is my will for you. Give thanks in all things. Would you agree with me? It's hard to practice gratitude when things aren't going well. I've had a challenge with that recently, to be honest with you. Chip Judd, great friend of mine, wrote a book together, Endurance Factor, and has just been a big influence in my life. Well, just a few months ago, he revealed that he had a lung disease that there's no cure for. And the only way out was a lung transplant. And over the last few months, he has been going through all kinds of tests. And over the last several weeks, we've just had a challenge with the idea that maybe he wouldn't pass the test. In fact, came down to one last liver test that they said, if you don't score well on this, and we have reason to believe that you won't, then that's the last hope we have for you. And it's been a challenge to practice what I preach in the area of gratitude. And that just brings up a thought. Whenever we talk about gratitude, we say, am I supposed to give thanks for all things? Well, that's not what Paul says. Paul says give thanks in all circumstances, not for all circumstances. We don't have to be thankful for pain or difficulty. That seems so inauthentic anyway, that I'm thankful that Chip is having this challenge. I'm thankful that I might lose my friend. No, that just doesn't compute. But you know what? In all things, we can find things that we can be thankful for. And that's important. Gratitude shifts our mindset. It shifts our perspective. It helps us see a bigger picture. It reminds us of God's faithfulness. It opens our hearts to ways that He might be working that we hadn't even thought about. Gratitude also encourages generosity, because here's what I've discovered. When I'm thankful, I'm generous. I love this verse. It's just been real important to me in the last few weeks. And it says this: the world of the generous gets larger and larger. The world of the stingy gets smaller and smaller. The one who blesses others is abundantly blessed, and those who help others are helped. And as I examine my life, as we come down to the end of the year, and I say, am I stingy or am I generous? What do I want to be in this coming year? Do I want my world to enlarge, or do I want it to get smaller and smaller? Well, one of the keys to that is gratitude. And so what I want to do is I want to talk to you just a minute about how can I establish a give thanks in all circumstance habit. Well, here's 3 things. First thing you do is start a gratitude journal. It's just every day, or as often as you can do it, maybe even once a week. Just write down somewhere, what am I thankful for? And what it does, and I've learned this in this season, it's been reinforced, is it shifts my focus from what's wrong in my life, what's wrong in my friends, what's wrong in my family, to what's right. Because when we go through tough circumstances, it's easy just to see through a what's wrong set of glasses. And so gratitude and a gratitude journal shifts that. Here's the second thing. Express your gratitude out loud. How many times have you thought how thankful you were to somebody and you never said it? And maybe that was good for you and it lifted your spirits, but if you'll express it out loud, it can lift somebody else's spirits. So I challenge you, even today, to sit down. Our lives are slowing down in a sense for the next few days as we spend Thanksgiving together. Say thank you. Text somebody. Say thank you to the people around you. Express your gratitude out loud. Here's the third thing. End your day with thanksgiving. Before you close your eyes at night, before you lay your head on the pillow, thank God for the good and the growth opportunities that are in your life. Well, I've got a good update on my friend Chip. We sat down just yesterday at lunch, awaiting a word of whether he had passed the final test or not. And we expressed gratitude for each other. And it was hard. It was hard. We're trying to stay in faith, and yet think about, what if, and how can we express gratitude if we don't get the answer that we need? And we loved on each other just a little bit. And just a few minutes after our lunch together, we got a report that said he's in. He's been approved, and he's just waiting for someone to donate some lungs that he can have a lung transplant. And so I'll ask you this Thanksgiving to give thanks with me for what he's doing there, and also pray for Chip and pray for the family who becomes the donors, that God will get glory in all of it. And so I challenge you to do that, but I also challenge you with this. Here's my challenge to you. Create some habits at the end of this year and at the beginning of next year that you can pass on to future generations. Don't just be hearers of the word, be doers of the word. Take the next 21 days and create a habit of joy and a habit of prayer and a habit of gratitude. And then take the next 90 days and make it part of your lifestyle. Hey, let's crush Worry-Free Wednesday together. Are you in? If you enjoy these videos, like them, share them, subscribe, and tell a friend about it. But until next time, worry less, live more, and you have just an incredible happy Thanksgiving.